advantage or not. Knollwood is, I kind of don't like the map too much because of how much variation there is depending on where you spawn. Like some spawns, like this bottom left one here, is very difficult to mine wood from, for example. And then certain spawns are close to mercenary camps. Depending on how you spawn, you can have an easy expansion or like an impossible expansion if you want to do that. So there's going to be a lot of variation depending on the spawns themselves. I don't know if I want to try to say those Danish words. It's hard to imitate Danish. The running joke is that it sounds like Swedish with a potato in your mouth. It's pretty accurate. So, if there are any questions? Did I remove the chat bar on your screen? Let's see. I think that's the purpose for that is if you want to be full screen but still want to read the chat, you can use that. So I think most people appreciate it, but if everyone wants me to remove it, I can do so. But for now, I'll keep it up. Yeah, I can't move the chat bar to the black bar because I personally do not see a black bar. The reason you guys see one is because I'm using a 4x3 monitor. So from my perspective, it's all the way to the right as it can be. But since everyone else in this day and age uses a widescreen monitor, you probably see black bars and you think that I should probably put the stuff in the black bars, but so I can't really see those. It's just the fact that I have a very old monitor. I'll try to get a new one in the future, but for now, I'll have to endure the black bars. Yeah, this was the first match. The 2 vs 2 was the first match, and Denmark is up 1-0. Yeah, 4x3 in 2016. It's kind of embarrassing. It is what it is. Oh, looks like we have some switch up here. With Showtime playing Orc. Which makes sense on Knollwood. It's a very, very good Orc map. You can stack your Blade Master very quickly. And he can just win you the game early on. But Orc Undead, I would say, is a very bad combination. Well, I mean, there's no very bad combination, but it's not one of the best. Certainly not top tier, I would say. There is some nice synergy though with like Hex Hero Nukes. And Raider Walker with Fiends and Orb is pretty nice as well. What map do I think is the best balanced for competitive gaming for Warcraft? If you mean for 2 vs 2, I'd probably say... it's hard to say, actually. Like... 2 vs 2, there's so much variation depending on the matchups that you can't really balance it around maps, but a map like Twisted Meadows, I would say, is pretty balanced. And that's about it, honestly. I like Phantom Grove a lot, but the Merc Abuse is kind of silly. But yeah, I'd probably, the only one I can think of in my head right now is Twisted Meadows is pretty balanced for pretty much any match. If you're talking about 1 vs 1, and again, it really depends on the matchup. I think it's hard to make a perfectly balanced map for every matchup. But something like a Secret Valley without the fountains. Last Refuge, I guess, is kind of okay, but it's very narrow, which impacts a couple of matchups. But yeah, probably maps like Secret Valley and Last Refuge, I would say, are the most balanced overall. I mean, there are maps like Amazonia which are balanced because they're so stupid and boring that you can't do anything except one strategy. But I'd rather play maps where you can do more than one thing. So I don't really count those stupid maps like Amazonia or Ancient Isles or those. I don't like them. Basically, any map that has just one expansion is boring to me because it limits the gameplay so much. Anyway, I won't get too much into that. We have Game 2 up and running. It's a very interesting position here because we have the Danish Night Elf with the Keeper of the Gopher spawning next to the Orc with a Blade Master. These spawns are actually so close that the Orc could definitely cancel any Ancient Wars being built if he wants to, if he realizes that he can. Especially since the Night Elf has almost certainly given some resources to the Undead to aid his build order, which will slow down the Night Elf's build order a bit. So if we look at this Ancient War, or this Hunter's Hall even, imagine this Blade Master running right away. It would be cancelled with 100%, but maybe that's not even worth it. Maybe Showtime just wants to creep his Blade Master.
A player's forces are under attack.
Anyway, it looks like Ito and Rosenkill are both just going Fiend build, which is expected. Keeper of the Grove, these colors are very annoying. I apologize for that. I can't do anything about it. I could remove team colors, but I'd rather have... Yeah, dark green on Nullwood is annoying. You can't really see a lot, but the Keeper of the Grove is somewhere. The Keeper of the Grove is actually harassing the Blade Master, which doesn't make a lot of sense. Probably better to try to snipe peons. But he's just running around trying to find the Blade Master creeping. Yeah, look at Ito. He already has the Circlet and a Flaw of attack. He's gonna keep on creeping. Could have probably cancelled this Ancient War if we wanted to. I wanted to check what fountain it is. It looks like it's a health fountain. Doesn't really impact that much in this matchup.
Forces are under attack.
I'd say both teams benefit equally from both mana and health. Kind of disappointed in Showtime though. It's already 3 minutes into the game and he doesn't have a full inventory. He should have about like 5 circlets by now. But I guess the Orc isn't his main race.
A player's forces are under attack.
Except the boots of speed. Keeper of the Grove's trying to harass the Undead, which makes more sense than harassing the Orc. We see some offensive wisp being used as well to slow down Ito's creeping and forcing his fiends to take some damage. See, this fiend, it could have been in trouble, but Seraphs decides to back off. Considering there's a health fountain, I would be a lot more aggressive with my Keeper of the Grove, because you can entangle and focus down fiends, and anything that gets hurt you can just send to the fountains and they heal for free. But Seraphs is being a bit passive. He doesn't want to lose anything by mistake. They're already up 1-0, so I guess he just wants to play it safe. Pretty greedy creeping here by Showtime, going for the mercenaries. Although he is aware that the Keeper of the Grove is harassing the Undead, so the chances of being creepjacked here are pretty small, since Rosenkill is most likely creeping himself. Let's see what item he gets here. Huh. So I guess this doesn't really drop anything too big, just the Gloves of Haste.
A player's forces are under attack.
So yeah, like someone in the chat said, like maybe Showtime should be harassing the Night Elf to let the Undead creep freely, but getting a stacked Blade Master is very important as well. It can be a game changer. So I like the fact that Ito is being passive. He's already level 3 and he has a full inventory almost of really good items. So even though the Death Knight for
player's forces are under attack.
I'm sorry, the Ito is the undead. So even though Showtime's Ito's Death Knight was only level 1 until now, it still looks okay because of the level 3 Blade Master. Once the Shadow Hunter is out, he can just hex and focus down the Keeper very quickly, especially with a coil. Oh, Rosenkill has a Scroll of the Beast, which is very good, especially considering the fact that the German team no longer has any Wisps since they're playing Undead Orc. So there's no real easy way to deal with the Scroll of the Beast. But this Blade Master is going to be very annoying. There's a level 3 Death Knight though, compared to only level 2 for the German. Yeah, we can probably see some Fiend deaths here. Although there's a lot of mana. Don't see any expansion on the map, so it looks like we're still just going to see the kind of 50 food hunters all in.
A player's forces are under attack.
Still only tier 2 for the Danish undead. Fiend's being right-clicked. Almost going down. He could kill it. Does kill it. So he gets 2 Fiends here. The German undead is taking a lot of damage here. He's already 2 Fiends down. He's going to be 3 Fiends down now compared to Rosenkill. And there's the Roar. This could be GG right here, but we do see the Shadow Hunter and Blade Master combo in play. But that's not going to be enough against all this War. Like +8 on every Fiend. +4 on every Hunter, so it's very, very strong. But the Blade Master could do some miracles here. He is dusted though, he has to run away. Oh wow, a really snipey coil there, getting the Blade Master. So although the German team staved off this attack, they took a lot of damage there. 37 supply for the German undead, whereas, oh actually 34 for Rosenkill for the Danish undead there. So he lost quite a bit there. 42 supply for the Night Elf, 38 for the Orc. I don't see a Spirit Lodge. I'm not sure why. Spirit Link is probably the best spell in the game, especially in 2 vs 2, but I guess they're afraid of destroyers, like fast destroyers, so maybe he just wants to focus on Raiders and Kodos and Grunts. But in my opinion, you should always get Spirit Link. What a boring camp. They don't drop anything good, just applause. Rosenkill is quite far ahead in tech. They could hit a nice timing with Orb and Destroyer and maybe push some burrows before the German undead has time to get his own orb. But the Germans are going for the Granite Golem. It's very risky, but they're behind, so it makes sense to take this risk. They could get a really nice item. Back in the day, like in Reign of Chaos, this could drop like Infernal Stones and Doom Guards and stuff, but these days it's not as strong. But we can still see some really good items, so we'll see what he gets here. Red Drake egg, so not the best. But certainly okay. Yeah, it looks like there was a Tomb of Experience for Rosenkill, almost level 5 Death Knight. Whereas Ito is only level 3. Still no tier 3, no Spirit Lodge. Like usually you'd get one or the other, right? You'd either get a Spirit Lodge and stay tier 2, or you'll get no Spirit Lodge but you'll go tier 3. But it looks like Showtime is just not doing either. It's just staying tier 2. Possibly he's feeding a bit, I haven't really been checking. But he's 50 supply now, so he should either add burrows, start teching, or expand, or start feeding. Looks like he is feeding. So Ito just received a lot of gold from the Orc. So this is why he's not teching and not getting a Spirit Lodge, because he's basically doing the same thing that Seraph is doing. He's going 50 food and then feeding. Arguably the Grunt Kodo army is better than the Huntress army in the late game, so If they're both staying 50 and feeding, then I'd say it's better for the Germans right now. But they're also getting a second set of granites. Let's see what he gets here. Potion of Divinity, now that's amazing. 25 seconds of vulnerability. One of the best items you can get in the game. If used correctly.
A player's forces are under attack.
I put that on the Blade Master level 3. And just watch him tear everything apart. See some peons dying for nothing here. Chain Morph Destroyers. Orb should be coming with backpack, I guess. I don't see any fiend on the way. So there's still no orb, although there is tier 3. No backpack for Ito, so he cannot get his own orb. He might have to defend here. But looks like the Danish team is backing off, despite chain morphing destroyers and going above upkeep. Maybe they just wanted to fake an attack and then continue creeping and maybe expand. This time, Ito is the one getting preferred third instead of Rosenkill. Probably pick up a orb as well. There we go for the Lich. Potion of Divinity was given to the Blade Master. Like I said, it's very strong on the Blade Master. Almost too strong. Meanwhile, Serap's just staying 50. He's actually adding a Windmill now, for some reason. Usually you just stay at 50 food and feed, but now we do have a level 5 Death Knight with a Mana Potion, and a Crypt Lord for Rosenkill as well. And now there is an Orb on that Lich, which is very stacked, like plus 23 damage, 2 Gloves of Haste. That's going to be a pretty strong nuke. Just right-clicking stuff. It might even be better than Blade Master. Probably not, though. So here comes the deciding fight. Kodos are kind of out of position. Blade Master uses his Immortality Potion, so he'll be attacking all of this fight. Speed Scroll being used to try to devour, but the Kodos are still stuck, so they haven't eaten anything yet. Web probably going down for the Germans. Web also going down for the Danish team. The Huntresses are kind of poorly positioned as well. The Thieves are taking a lot of damage here. You see the Red Drake being summoned. Destroyers are eating it up and focusing it down. It's looking quite even right now, but the Huntresses are going down very quickly. Showtime's army is staying alive. Photobase is helping quite a bit. Ooh, the German Crypt Lord goes down. Again, the level 5 Death Knight is a huge advantage to the Danish team. Almost snipes the Blade Master, but not quite. Rosenkill's Crypt Lord is just about to die, he goes down. German Undead is in trouble though. Clarity Potion used on Shadowhunter. Oh, Blade Master is very close to death. Should see a heal wave on him shortly.
A player's forces are under attack.
There's the heal wave, and there's a potion. So this Blade Master, oh wow, gets nuked really, really fast though. Despite everything. Keeper of the Grove could go down, but he does have a Town Portal. Fight keeping on going, but it looks like it's GG, but potentially like the Death Knight doesn't have any mana, and the Orc player does have a shop to help them, so we could maybe see them holding here, but it's going to cost them a lot if they do. There's no statue on the way, so we won't really be seeing a lot of mana unless there's a mana potion being brought by a backpack unit. Tried to devour a fiend there, but it didn't really work. Tangan Root's being used. There's no Dispel, so this Tangan Root is very strong. If there is no Dispel, then the Tangan Root is one of the strongest spells in the game. Does about 1,000 damage at level 3. And the Tangan Roots going down, the Berserker will fall. You see more and more clarities being bought in the German team. So just not going to be enough, I don't think. They need to probably just try to focus down this Death Knight to force them back, but looks like the German Death Knight dies instead. We could potentially see Death Pact picked here. It looks like we do. We see Death Pact on Rosenkill's Death Knight just to be safe. More destroyers being morphed. So now we kind of have a counter to Entanglements, but it gets web. It will fall pretty fast.
Player's forces are under attack.
Bit of a miss on the Impale there, but the German Lich goes down. Blade Master joins the fight once again, but he was sleeping way too long. He missed all the action after dying. It looks like this is GG. Just want to check there's no expansion on the way. Nothing like that. Yeah, so the Germans called GG. It was a pretty close fight though. The Orc army was surprisingly strong, the quotas were very nice, but they had kind of poor positioning for the final fight, and they just got outcrept. Level 5 Death Knight really helped there, and despite having the potion of own reloading, it just wasn't enough to deal with the level 3 Death Core. But a pretty nice game, and very action-packed because of the close spawns, so it was nice. So I'll see if there are any questions in the chat, if I can see them.